Welcome to Soca or Die Season 2. This is episode 10, so you've made it to the end of the season, or rather, we've made it to the end of the season. You would recognize that it's just me, your host, Miss Riley, Aurelia Bruce, whatever you call me. And you would realize that my co-hosts are not with me today. And so I'll be holding down the fort. I'll tell you about that just in a moment. But they're off doing, creative things, newlywed things, journalistic things. So we wish them all the best. And of course, we'll have them on again soon. While they are away, though, I will just give you some behind the scenes, never before seen clips. Some of them may or may not be embarrassing for my co-host, but we'll see. And I'll also give you a wrap-up of our season, some of the highlights from the season. But before we get into that, for some reason, this entire season, I've always seemed to have a sort of strayway here somewhere. Anyway, what we will do is we will get into a recap of the Carnival 2021. Now, you should know some of these things already, but just in case you were absent or resting up from all the virtual concerts and all the socially distant fetes, I will still give you a recap of what you may have missed. As you know, given the announcement that Carnival is not on, the NCC had decided or determined that they would not do a number of the competitions. They would not recognize the winners. That, however, and thankfully, did not stop some of our stakeholders from, again, hosting these competitions, and kudos to them. It also didn't prevent some of our corporate sponsors from, coming on board and for want of a better term, salvaging some of these things. So, as you know, Farm and Happy took home the Monarch, the Monarch. It's not Soca Monarch, but that's okay. We don't know what will happen 2022, but okay. He came in first place with, of course, Backyard Jam. And I mean, that was a runaway hit for the season, including with the added, visuals and that kind of thing, which we spoke about on the program. Olatunji Yearwood came in second with Drunk History. I think that is another song. I should probably add that to my list of standout songs for 2021, but it was a good one. And of course, Ding Dong and Michael Tasia came in third with Horn in first. So although there was no physical crowd as Soca Monarch is accustomed to, although there was some back and forth in terms of what the competition would look like this year, it did take place. The NCC said they would not recognize it, but I mean, all that matters is that the people recognize it, and congratulations to Farm and Happy. Similar to last year, where we had a Soca Monarch and Road March, being the same song/person, that is the same thing that happened this year. Again, Road March was not in the traditional way that we would typically do it, which is, most plays of a song at judging points across the Monday and Tuesday. But again, corporate Trinidad and Tobago, that is Be Mobile, stepped in to do a collaboration with TUCO, Trinidad and Tobago, or Trinbago Unified Calypsonians Organization. And so the 2021 Be Mobile / TUCO online road march was born, and the voting was by text. So artists were allowed to register 2 songs. So again, before, where it was simply up to whatever the DJs played, in this instance, the artist had to be proactive and register 2 songs. And then, of course, voting was done locally as well as internationally to get the diaspora on board. Of course, as I said before, Farm and Happy took that one home too. And I mean, we had a crop of artists, a number of them registered for it. I see here Aaron Duncan, Bungie Garlin, Earth on Alves, Echo, Faye and Lions, a number of them. And a number of them also registering 2 songs. So I think that was interesting. If I should go back to the Monarch, again, we saw a number of familiar names in the competition. If we move over to Chutney Soca Monarch, GI successfully defended his crown with the song Drink Together. I think it's interesting here that his brother, Master Salim, came in second with BYOB. So kudos to GI as well as his brother. And then in third place, we had Daddy Chinese. Interestingly enough, in 2021, Chutney Soca Monarch featured for the first time a Queen of Chutney Soca title, which was won by Nisha Ramsuk. And so congratulations to her as well. Now I wish my co-hosts were here, and perhaps in the next season and in a future season we can discuss again this separation or this carve out for Queen of Chutney Soca. Is that good? Is that bad? What does it mean for the art form? What it means for gender parity? If it is better to have female monarchs compete separately. There are a lot of nuanced discussions that could be had around that. But Chutney Soca Monarch was able to feature artists from Guyana as well who entered the competition. A lesser known, perhaps in our circles, a lesser known competition was that of the 103.1 FM Chutney Soca Road March. And I thought it was interesting how they did the road march. And let me just put a pin in here where they did, or they for the past couple of years, they did have a radio road march. This year, again, without the parade and the street parade, they transformed or elevated that radio road march into what is the Chutney Soca Road March. And their competition was a bit different. It wasn't just the voting of fans. There were 4 categories from which artists would gain points, right? And so those categories for live performance, you had a total of 40% of your overall score. And then you had online voting. You had your official music video where you had to post the video to social media, and then, the public would vote on it. And then you had announcer submissions. So each of those last 3 categories were worth 20% each for your overall 100% score, of course. In terms of the announcer submission, that 20% came from, again, announcers on the radio. Again, they would screen all of the Chutney Soca offerings for the year and shortlist those songs based on predetermined criteria, and then get the permission of the artists to sort of enter them into the competition. So it's a bit different from what we saw with the B-Mobile Tuco Road March, where the artists themselves had to register. So this one was a bit different. Either way, in 3rd place, we had Jairam Dindial with a popular song, Cow Kick Down the Bucket of Milk. Then in 2nd place, we had Anthony Batson with Mr. Bihari. And then in 1st place, we had Amit Sagram with Godia Hamar. And so congratulations to all of the people in Winners Row. Congratulations. I often wonder, especially coming out of the season, and now that we have a little more time to reflect, what will the NCC do? Because the organizers of the competition held the competition. Yes, the artists are behind it in that you participated, so you recognize as legitimate this endeavor, right? And then the public is also behind it in that the public is supporting these winners, congratulating and whatnot, and supporting these songs. So when we have that official list and the Road March Hall of Fame and the Soca Monarch Hall of Fame, is it that we will just put 2021 No Carnival, which is what we did in the wartime periods, or is it that we will eventually, recognize it? I think it ought to be recognized. But that's my position, and maybe you have a different view. Let me know if these winners, that is Road March, Monarch, I was going to say Soca Monarch, V Monarch, Chutney Soca Monarch, should be recognized. Let me know in the comments. And so for 2021 Carnival, I think for what it was, I appreciate it. Like I said, I appreciate the corporate sponsors supporting. I appreciate the artists for giving us the energy and the vibe and the motivation, the content, the music to keep us going, to help us survive. Because what would January and February have been without new releases, without the virtual concerts, without the kind of carnival like elements. We saw a number of other stakeholders come in and jump on board. Of course, the NCC, perhaps later than I would have appreciated, come in to do the Carnival Village online. And so, I want to say thank you to everybody. I mean, as I said, throughout the season, I feel like more could have been done, more preparation, because we did get that announcement from the Prime Minister since about late September, early October. And so there is much more that we could have been doing rather than this kind of wait and see approach. But I will leave that for another time. And in terms of, you know, 2021 Carnival, in terms of what we saw from the Carnival, in terms of what we saw from the musicians, I have like a top list or lists, a list that I will definitely and have been playing over and over, I would say. And so the songs I will remember would be, of course, Dubai, right? I think the people in my house are tired of me every 5 minutes. Tell the admin and random for no reason. Every 5 minutes, or tell him I want my money, right now. Every 5 minutes, either one of those refrains. So Dubai, so sweet, so sweet. I cannot tell you what so sweet is and has done. So that is definitely on my list, and I want to hear it in a fet. That and stress reliever. Oh gosh. Anyway, I digress. Backyard Jam, of course, we spoke about that before. And I think that rhythm was an excellent rhythm because Backyard Jam is on my list. Happy Place is on my list. Better Days is on my list. It has, become part of my morning routine now. So definitely those will be around post 2021 Carnival. Heart of a People, social commentary, Garland. I know because of the content of the song, it will definitely outlast this season and any other season. All Houses Road was also a good offering, and I think the energy of it, because when we think of the pandemic and when we think of pandemic carnival, we will think of that having to fit in your home, and so I think it will definitely last. I mentioned Stress Reliever already. Sugar Daddy by Nadia Batson. Again, quality on my list. I also believe, and I told you in an earlier episode, First Fet will be big. 2022, when we get back into the fets, that first fet is going to mash up the first fet and all subsequent fets. I love the lyrical overall. Tender by Patrice, like I said, another one that is embedded in your brain. Like you can't do anything, you can't ignore it. It will be around. And then, of course, Kes, Keep Jamming. I think that's another one. Let me tell you, because I'm a woman and I am allowed to change my mind, I know that on this very same program, I had said that Marshall's High Life, that I wasn't feeling it. But let me just say, I'm feeling it now. I think I needed to hear it more times. I think I needed to, turn it up loud, and I think I needed to be in the right space to receive the message. And I hear, I there, I receive it. We good. I think it is another one that will outlast and outlive the season. And I gave my list of top songs because we had the conversation of whether or not the releases for 2021 would be as memorable, without the loudspeakers in the fets, without the memories, because sometimes it's the memory of what you were doing when the song came on, or that moment in the fet when the song come on, or that moment on the road, when the song play. And so, we were talking about whether or not it would have the same longevity as other releases. And I definitely think it would, because it will still be memorable in a different way, right? I think I will remember, for example, S2.E10, when Patrice performed in that finale. And let me tell you, I paid my money to watch the show. I did. It was the best money I ever spent. I think it was a good production. Let me say that Kes won virtual fets. I don't know if We Home, which started. I think the first one was around Republic Day back in September. I don't know if it's that he was practicing, leading up to this, but definitely I think having that series of engagements, to learn, grow, change, etc. That is we finale night mashup. In fact, I don't know which memory of Stage Gone Bad is going to outlive the other. For example, Stage Gone Bad on the stage was big, but then Stage Gone Bad in Iswi finale night was also big. So I think there are still memories to be had from these virtual concerts, and it's going to be, I remember when I was whining in the living room to So Sweet, waiting for that first fet, things like that. I think they will. I think they will carry on. And so let me know in the comments, what is that one song from 2021 that you cannot wait to hear in a fet, like fet type atmosphere, crowd ram, speakers up, and the DJ. The DJ not talking to the song. He just want to hear the song. What song from 2021 is that? But let me tell you, that is 2021 in a nutshell for me. Like I said, you might have had different memories or different highlights. Like I said, for me, that was it, the music, and that wanting to be in the carnival space, wanting to be on the road, and that feel, we will never forget 2021. We will never forget it. Let's go straight into the recap of season 2 of Soca or Die. And this was from which episode? This might have been episode 2 in our taping, but I did not notice that Kareem was eating, like full on eating. And so, Kareem, I apologize because we were starting the broadcast while he was trying to have something to eat. And again, the co-hosts have been with me from episode 1, enduring some rigorous schedules and some long hours of taping, if you could call it that. And so I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart. Now, this is season 2.
I need to echo everyone's sentiments. I am over it. Both finished and done with it.
Season 2, and this time we go in virtual because we can't have no choice, because pandemic and lockdowns and mass, and well, not the mass that we want to look forward to. But of course, before I ramble on further, I'd like to introduce the rest of our panel this evening.
And let me tell you this thing. I know they like to say the tagline of 2020 / the pandemic is "you're on mute." And let me tell you, technical difficulties did not escape us at all. No, Kareem, we see your mouth moving, but we don't understand. No, it's not, actually. You gotta unmute yourself, boo. Yeah.
Well, he just mutes himself and then unmutes himself and then something's going on.
You gotta try with the headphones.
I feel like okay, so Kareem is experiencing some technical difficulties.
Yes. While we get this
we're gonna get started with the discussion in the meantime, because apparently I get to intro.
1.
They don't need any introduction. I'm probably having too much rum while I'm talking about Chinese.
Hello.
share screen wasn't supposed to start sharing. I'm supposed to be able to add or remove. So we're just going to redo that intro. Yeah, I'm going to cut out that little bit, right? And then we will keep it rolling. So,
do you want to go from
this? This is your co-host, Aurelia Bruce. I am laughing because we just had a, no. Okay, serious now.
We had some live TV issues.
Yeah. So no, I'm not. Now I'm going to start the recording, right? I'm going to just.
So start with the title sequence again, or no?
No, we don't have to. I'll just
Okay.
cut out this bit. Anyway.
Go ahead. Yeah,
I didn't say about buying ice. I say making a friend with ice.
Don't come by me with my ice. I total my ice. Don't come by me. Me ain't no friends with nobody. Come with it. Or leave your bottle. Leave your whole bottle.
Can you hear us, Risan? We can't hear you. I don't know if you muted yourself by accident.
Okay, it says she's not muted.
Hello?
Maybe the jack for the headphones slipped out.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So
Yes.
I was talking away and I'm like, why are they ignoring my opinion?
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. No, I'm kidding. This is Soca Die Season 2. Amazing songs. To me, that is one of those songs that I feel like a few years from now, it's nowhere near Palance. Palance is that song that is going to endure and endure and endure and endure. Stage Gone Bad. Peter disagrees. I think I could still, I will not Palance with the same
Zest.
Yeah. But I will Palance, like right here, and still enjoy it and not be annoyed when I hear it, and I'll still, you know what I mean?
That's
yes, and that was my
That is my song.
Yeah.
That is the song.
Well, we saw you on your Instagram story.
Yeah. I loved it then.
I didn't have a video for that.
Did you have a woman in a red dress? With the window behind her. I can't remember right now. Your time now?
Yeah.
Yes. That was an epic video. Yes.
Boy.
Yeah.
That is big.
That blew my mind. That was a 360 video, right? Yeah, that blew my mind. That blew my mind.
I remember that kind
I wish I was more proficient in whining. Like that video made me want to learn new tricks. I was like, oh.
I remember that carnival because we were in your living room, Evo, and everybody is watching the same way, but with their phone.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I remember that. Yeah, you had like all the whole diaspora, like everybody, the whole region was in my living room. Like there was a representative. That felt like we were in the middle of like a CARICOM meeting or something, because we had a rep from like almost every island in my living room. We were all on our phones and we were watching the video, and everybody was like, from a different angle, most of the guys were here.
We know why.
All like from different angles. Oh my god! And it was like the height of carnival. It had dropped like
It dropped at the right time as well. Yeah. It dropped at the right time as well.
Yeah,
and
it dropped.
also shows you that technology helps create that. Now that technology has advanced, it's not as expensive to produce a really good quality video, because like, if you shoot a video on an iPhone now, you're gonna get a really good quality looking video. Whereas before, you have to be one of the bigger artists or have a huge song.
Yeah.
What?
He's not gonna.
Don't do that, Karen. Don't do that, Karen. Don't do that.
Who said it?
Yeah. I'm not repeating that.
Don't do that. Some handy dandy notebook. All kind of somebody had
No one picked Countdown. No one picked the shell. You know that for sure.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
Who picked that?
Conchal was in the mix. Second Star, was it To The Max? That's the name of it?
Second Star?
Was it in the mix? Yes.
I think it was one of the Star Gal and them that it picked.
What do you, excuse me? I never heard that term in my life before. To what are you referring?
I don't know. It's just a term that came back to mind.
All sorts of names were in the mix.
What is a Second Star?
Second Star, Conchal was heavy, given heavy play, was on the top of the list. So let's not let's not tell lies now.
He's like a up the island's Benjai. That's what I feel like he's like. He's just around. He's been around, and you're probably listening to him. Like, yeah, this song cool. And then after a while, you realize, hey, he's been making a lot of good, steady music for a while.
I see what you mean.
Yes.
This is where it stems from. Aurelia, you attended Bishop Anstey.
The one and only
In Port of Spain. Sorry, Port of Spain.
Hold on.
Did y'all regular?
And so we're going to play a game with Risan. So Risan is our first guest, and as our first guest, we have to baptize you in some bacchanal.
I'm ready.
Wow. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, and this is where we end this episode of Soca or Die. Unfortunately, we have run out of time.
You comparing him to Soca Jesus, and that's what I'm having.
Who? Comparing him to who? Masha?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Can we hashtag that?
Yeah, I think we have a copyright that.
Yeah,
For sure.
we got. I hear all thing, but let's just put David Rodda because I
Second verse Gallon is God mode now. Like when you're thinking about lyrics, second verse Gallon, top.
but he could. The thing with videos is listen. If you're going and have a skit, have the skit in the beginning or have the skit in the end. Don't hold no video in between.
Can you hashtag, please? Just hashtag those skip me.
Oh, okay. I remember that video. Yeah.
Don't skip me. Hashtag don't skip me.
Don't skip.
Don't skip me. I don't like skits and videos at all. I rail against that. Don't skip me.
But you know Trinidad loves a skit. What is Trinidad?
We have Best Village for that. We have all them.
What is Trinidad? Trinidadians believe in this skit. Trin Begonians believe in a skit.
Don't skip me.
It's like, how's the best
Not
way
in the middle.
to deliver this message?
No.
Let's do a skit.
Do not skip me, partner. I don't want to hear no skit. I don't want to hear no skit in the ads. I don't want to hear no skit in the Soca. If I listen to it on a CD, it's not going to hear no skit midway through the track. Don't skip me.
That's why I'm saying, especially because of how we consume the videos too on YouTube. You know what is in the middle of a playlist? You understand? In the middle of a song and you have to stop.
You want to talk about
Because
something?
this skitting.
Do not skip
Beginning
me.
or end. If you need to have a skit,
Yeah.
start it or end
Like
it.
it. Skip the skit.
That
It
you know,
jams
that it
out
has to
anything.
have. Yeah, it's
But
just.
Jam on the junction. That is
That me is for damning too.
yes.
Oh my. Okay. Yeah.
Hashtag.
Hashtag.
Something to hold me because sometimes when I reach, I don't know where's my vibes. Like food is always my vibes when I reach first, eh? But sometimes I end up talking to somebody, something, and champagne might just splash in my direction. And I ain't doing nothing, and I'm drinking that champagne, and I ain't.
I feel like
Trini Boy Juicy and Wetty, Bottle Overhead. That was my song for 20.
are you calling songs by their actual names here?
It can be water. It can be rum.
Right.
Rum. It can be anything going down.
What's the title of the song?
Bottle Overhead.
Oh, I only know it could be rum. You see, and
It could be water, it could be rum. That's the name of the song.
right. It could be right. So if you say, and that's the problem too when you're trying to search because you're there trying to search lyrics and it's like, oh no, the song is called Bottle Overhead. Ask you to because we spoke a little bit about misheard lyrics just now before.
Something.
When you see who coming,
I have no idea.
because
I
I
have
thought
no
it was when you see the ballers coming, but then
No.
I thought it was bumpers.
who?
I thought it was bumpers. Like, when you see the bumpers coming, I thought
But
that
then
was.
when they were singing, I
Never
heard
tell
Get
you what I
On Us.
hear.
I heard Get On Us. When you see Get On Us, come and say, but who's Get On Us? If that's
Well,
like
I took it to a different place, right? So, you know, like a pre-Madonna. So I was like, oh, the Madonnas are coming.
oh no. So, you know what did you hear when you see? Yeah.
Bumpers coming.
Oh, you heard bumpers.
Yeah.
But to me, that day I'll have to replay. To me, I thought she said Get On Us because I was like, maybe you know you have like powder pussy and you have Get On Us. I don't know.
Maybe we should let me just take
If
a
you
note.
know, please put it in the chat. Help us out. Tell you, some songs need lyric videos. That way we could save ourselves the embarrassment. For example, this thing now. What is this song? MX Prime and MX Prime and Ultimate Rejects, right? I remember the song. How does it start? All right. Make way for the U, make way for the R.
You are.
Right. I didn't know that. Right?
What were you singing?
I think it was Devon that said it's you are like, just kind of was fun.
Shout out to Javon.
Because I what you call this? I thought they were saying make way for the youths, make way for the arts, right?
The youth and the arts.
I mean, that's fairly plausible.
Exactly.
You took it to a place. It's not a bad place.
Because
It's not a bad place.
Because I knew it was Maximus or MX Prime or whatever. So again, in my mind, it's Maximus. I don't know no Ultimate Reject. So why would you even be saying you are? Like you'd say MX, right? So I'm like, okay, make way for the youths.
Make way for the arts. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
I think part of a competition we were having last season, where it was like there are some things that are kind of transcend the season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
sure.
one of them for sure. It also have a song that goes beyond the carnival season.
But I think those are the songs that are not written for the carnival season. Those are usually the songs that are just written out of pure love and good energy and understanding the magic that is the season. But
Right,
not
that's what it is.
for the season.
Those songs are for carnival, not for the carnival season. Those are the spirit, the spirit and the essence of, and that way it transcends into the spirit and essence of Trinidad and Tobago, and they typically, those kind of nation building, uplifting kind of songs.
It's like a love song.
like what would that
Who's that?
Right?
It's like Destra Marshall's first song.
Yes.
Yeah. It's one thing, like I joke, but really and truly, if you want to see body positivity in all its splendor, just come to Trinidad. Like nobody cares. Nobody's judging you. Literally nobody cares. Like you just come as you are
Enjoy
and
yourself.
revel and enjoy yourself. And honestly, I felt self-conscious maybe for the first 2 minutes, like walking from my house to the bar, and I joined the bar and I was like, I here.
Yeah. Touch the road and bust a while.
Belly and all. Yeah, exactly. I reach. I don't remember the are you ready?
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
You picture with them, carnage. And them, you wine to the road. Give the one them pressure.
Me though.
Well, we have eras of swappy. We have cartel swappy.
Right.
We have
Swappington. I feel like these days he's Swappington.
Yeah. For this swappy.
No, I feel like these days he's culture swappy because I find he go on very juvenile.
Very calypso.
Yeah.
Inspired. He's changed his style.
This is like Bridgerton swappy then. It's like Bridgerton swappy.
But I do like Swappy.
This Bridgerton swappy right now we have.
Bridgerton so happy.
Yeah, it's called Dead.
Can I just say I'm always very self-conscious of the way I say his name because people always laugh at me and say they hear the convent in me when I say his name, so that now I really overpronounce it and I say Swappy because
Swappy.
How else do you say it though?
I usually say Swappy. But then somebody was like, what is Swappy?
No, Swappy.
Swappy.
Swappy, yeah.
That's what I used to say. This is my comfort zone, Swappy. However, I now try to say Swappy. I understand much like when you say, well, San Juan, people kind of like, you from? So you have to, I have to
yes,
so
it's sour.
things that I mentally do, I say sour and feel so uncomfortable, and swappy and feel so gutturally uncomfortable. It's a problem. But no disrespect, swappy.
They got swappy every time.
No disrespect.
Swappy.
I feel as though we could really genuinely have an explosion of music, local music. Hopefully, we'll see. But there's the potential. It's festering. It's ripe for some kind of a renaissance to happen.
And
So-
that's for me the element of.
Before we get sidetracked, let me study that. Put the matchup, even if it should be.
Put the
same-
song.
Are we before we get sidetracked? Because we already are sidetracked.
Yeah, we already said. So we just put a
Back
pin
on
in that
task.
for later, right? A pin in that for later, and see how that matchup would go like in your mind, like song for song. But back to the
Right.
social media.
Song, Alison.
Thing out there.
I wonder if it could benefit from being shorter. Like make these productions shorter, maybe, and you could catch more people.
I'm
Because
pretty sure saying that about us right now because we've gone double
True.
time,
We had almost
double
an,
time on this one, and we will pick it up. Kareem, you're saying something?
so we are almost at an hour.
Yes.
all right.
And so I don't know, like we had a lot of laughs this season, and I want to just point out because in season 1, Kareem and Peter would laugh at everyone I because we would randomly break into song. I mean, this season wasn't really any different. However, I just wanted to point out that this season we got Peter to join in on the song singing. So, welcome to the musical, Peter. Last year they were saying, "Oh, it's like a musical." So, welcome. And we did have a number of epic debates, a number of serious conversations as well. It wasn't all fun and games, but we mixed that into it. Speaking of fun and games, this season we had our very first game on Soca or Die for our very first guest. And so hopefully the next season we'll do more of those fun games. But we did have some epic debates whether or not Junction is a chutney soca song. Let me let you know that I did reach out to settle that debate once and for all. So hopefully in the next season we'll have a response for you. Of course, the debate on rhythms had sparked I won't say controversy, but it's quite a debate in terms of old school rhythms versus rhythms today, as well as whether or not what is Evo dancing to. I think half of it for me is really the reactions and the shenanigans. And then watching these videos back, it is really it is really just catching the things that you missed, that you didn't see while you were in the discussion, while you were recording. But the debate on rhythms, again, which rhythm was the best rhythm? That was hotly contested, and whether older rhythms are better than the ones that we're seeing coming out now. But we do agree that it has definitely been a shift in terms of production, in terms of how artists approach the rhythms and that kind of thing. Again, serious conversations about 2021 as well as 2020 Soca Monarch, the competition itself, the Monarch in terms of the winner and what we could be doing with Soca Monarch, again about virtual concerts, and in that episode, this sort of need to participate in the digital space, this sort of need to bring Carnival to the digital space. But again, how is it being done? How is it being packaged? How is it being produced? We did spend some time on the big clash between Alison and Patrice, and we know that there was another clash after the Carnival season. So Alison and Patrice came before the Carnival season, and then after the Carnival season, there was another clash. And so maybe we will get into that, whether later on in the year or in our next season. Again, back to the digital space, because of the pandemic and what we're going through, we did speak to social media and how artists have been using social media in this time. That was a great discussion. Just to backtrack, thank you guys, especially for our episode on virtual concerts. I'm not sure what it was about that episode, but that was our most shared and most watched video. I'll check back my notes before the end of the episode Chutney Soca. Again, we were just wading into the topic again from our perspective and how we see it, how we see Chutney Soca in the space of soca, and then again this idea of the quest for soca to be mainstream. And when we say mainstream, typically we mean global / US, but to be mainstream, and then as a non-mainstream form of music, how even Chutney Soca as a subset of that, or subsegment of that, how it is treated, delivered, and how it could be promoted. So hopefully in the next season we will be able to dig deeper into Chutney Soca, Chutney Soca, that is. Hopefully we'll be able to have a Chutney Soca expert, and I have some ideas on people that we can bring on, but definitely I think that discussion is needed. We did this season touch on, we didn't have a separate episode, again, maybe something to look at for next season, but Parang Soca, we touched on that. Happy that we touched on that. Evo brought that up, so a great discussion there, and we can also dig deeper into that. We did our check-in, again, a first for this season, because typically we didn't do one in the last season, but definitely I think it ought to be a feature of every season from now on, even for SOAPBOX, I think, because the check-in allowed us to take viewer comments, viewer thoughts, viewer questions even, and respond to some of them and feature them on the show. So thank you to our listeners for sending those in. Again, yes, we spoke about the rhythms, and then we had our very first guest on Soca or Die, Rissan Martin. I keep calling her the happy, humble creator because that's how she introduced herself. But that interview, I think, is the motivation and inspiration that we did not know we needed. I think after that episode, it really gave me that kick to say, "Girl, what you're doing, what you're doing with your time, get up and do and be bold and go after what you want." So check that one out, and we'll be featuring more and more clips from that one on our social media. So if you have not already, do follow us on social media to keep up with us, because even though the season is over, I agree, or maybe it was a bit prophetic, because in the roundup clip that I showed you just now, Eva was speaking to this kind of renaissance in soca, and what we're seeing, or what we have seen due to the pandemic, and I believe that that might come to pass in terms of, yes, the delivery. And yes, in terms of the fets and what we see happening and the potential for development there. But I think as well in terms of production and release, because I've noted that although the carnival season is over, a number of soca events, I know Nyla did one, again, that clash that Digicel hosted post-season, and there are a number of other smaller events and even online events, DJs having events, as well as a number of releases post-carnival. And so it might be a good thing. Don't skewer me. The pandemic might have been a good catalyst for this kind of out-of-season activity. And hopefully it is supported again by the corporate sponsors, by the radio stations and DJs, by us, the listeners, because we've seen in the past, a number of people, whether it is Irfan, especially last year with his Grateful mixtape, we've seen Kes do it, we've seen Bungie do it, here and there, we've seen Marshall do out-of-season releases. And when I say out-of-season, I don't mean, we're dropping something for crop over. I mean, we're dropping something because, or we drop in something, whether it is in, I don't know, September, or we drop in something in June, right, or May. And so I hope that more and more artists take the opportunity to do that, host the concerts, do the outreach and maintain their social media presence, because it is not just about carnival. I believe it is erroneous to assume that carnival fuels soca. It is the other way around, where soca fuels the carnival season. And so I think the opportunity, the need to, and definitely the ability to continue to create and carve out that space and continue to make noise. I think is there, and because it is there, I think that we will also be here. Again, not in our full season, full episode capacity, but definitely if the artists are doing their part, I believe it is incumbent upon us to do our part. Again, when I say us, I mean that collective us, whether it is the policymakers, whether it is the NCCs, whether it is the creative TTs, whether it is the listeners, whether it is the radio stations, the patrons to the events, etc., etc., etc. And so for our place on Soca or Die, definitely we would want to keep the conversation going. And, you know, I can't say exactly. We have some things in the works, in discussion to see how it would work, especially given that, of course, out of Soca or Die season, we have our SOAPBOX season. So how the two will mesh, what we will do, how we will deliver it, but definitely looking at continuing the conversation throughout the year. This season has come to an end. Yeah, it's not goodbye, it's see you later, right? But the season definitely would not have been possible without these guys right here, my co-hosts Peter, Evo, and Kareem. Peter Christopher, Evo Julian, and Kareem Gibbs. I want to thank them so much for their thoughts, their wisdom, their jokes. Kareem always misbehaving. Peter always with the Soca facts. Evo as well with that creative communication / production side of things, as well as for the energy and the laughs. So thank you to all of them. Of course, as well, some of the behind the scenes people, Janai from Janai.co, Janai and Company. I think a lot of the success of this season definitely has to do with her and her hard work. And again, if you have any social media or communications needs, I would highly recommend her. I also want to say thank you to the business manager. That is the name of the company. And the business manager, again, assists you with your communications needs. And so thank you to them, because it was through them that I found Janai and Co. So I want to say thank you to them in particular. I want to say thank you, of course, to our guest, Rissan Martin. Again, a wonderful conversation in episode 9. Thank you, Rissan, for imparting your knowledge, your wisdom upon us. I want to say thank you to those who shared their comments, thoughts, and questions, including Nigel, Dwayne. We had Harmony Farrell on there. We also had Sandalina on there. And then, am I missing someone? No, I don't think I'm missing anybody, but thank you. Even those who wrote in the comments, those who sent us private messages like, hey, when is the last episode coming out? It's here. I apologize for keeping you waiting. If I really tell you all, seeing as how this is a behind the scenes episode, podcasting is work. I don't know if you will believe me when I tell you this episode had been recorded a week ago, and when it was time to upload it, I realized that there was no audio. So this is actually the second time that I'm doing this episode. Again, thank you for all your support. It makes having to do and redo things that much more valuable or worth it, or it makes it easier. And so in terms of what to expect this post season 2, of course, like I said, we will keep the conversation going after Soca or Die season 2. Of course, we come back with SOAPBOX, with our fifth season of SOAPBOX. Who would have thunk it? Who would have known? But here we are, and so I'm excited about that one too. I know I promised you at the end of season 4 some things in Soapbox, and so it will come back, and those things are ready for you. So stay tuned to the Soca or Die conversation that will continue. Stay tuned for Soapbox season 5. And I think that ends my notices, which means that ends this season. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining us on this epic ride. I promised you the data. Yes, episode 3 had most amount of clicks and views, about 20,000 of you. Thank you. And I mean, if you listen to it, if you like it, heart it. What else you can do? Do all those things, press those buttons, and leave a comment, because up to now, y'all haven't told us what the lyrics of Obsessive Whiners is. So please get in those comments. Check us out on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter at Soapbox Caribbean. It's on the screen at Soapbox CBEAN. So get to us, and thank you for your support. Thank you. Later.
Oh, to press leave.
Oh, I need to end the broadcast because all of this is now on the record.